And does that mean I'm going to keep this on the car for good? Well, no. The plan is actually... It's been over 2 years since I've done any videos on diverter valve on my Mark II Leon Cooper R. There's always this constant debate whether Revision G is a better diverter valve than the Go Faster Bits one. Actually, Go Faster Bits, the company themselves, they commented in one of my videos from a couple of years ago when I did a video covering their new lower profile version of this diverter valve. And also that guy, TYY I think he was, left a comment on one of the videos as well saying, is there a way to do a comparison to see what's going on with the boost and see if there's any difference between the Go Faster Bits diverter valve and the original Revision G diverter valve. So I've actually finally got one. Picked one up from Autodoc. Now if you look into this, you can find that a company called Pierburg, they make the original diverter valve for these TFSI engines. And I managed to get a Pierburg Revision G diverter valve from Autodoc for I think about £39. I think about more now if you go into Autodoc and look it up, but for about £40 roughly you can buy one of these. It's way cheaper than you can get locally in the UK. It takes maybe 2 or 3 weeks to actually come, but that is the genuine make. This then goes to manufacturers, they put their Audi or Volkswagen stamps all over it, and that's what seems to jump the price up by now 30 quid after that, which is a bit silly, but a genuine Revision G diverter valve there to go on the car. But because I already have the Go Faster, sorry, I've got stinking cold just now, I'm snotty and bunged up. So because I've already got the Go Faster Bits diverter valve still fitted to the car, because I run that the whole time, we're going to go out on the road. I've got my OBDeleven dongle app plugged in, got the app on my phone. We're going to do a chart, logging readings on a chart on the app, which is going to log the revs of the engine, the specified boost pressure and the actual boost pressure as well. I'm going to see if I can find between those readings, if I can plot out a chart that's going to show the difference between these two types of diverter valves. So, right, we're a bit stretchy road here, so what we're going to do is just going to go up in second gear I think, and then I'm just going to do a pull in second, third and fourth. I'm going to try and change at the same point each time when I go onto other diverter valve as well, to give it more of a fair reading, hopefully. I've got a few lights on the dashboard just now as well, I've got an ABS sensor out, and I've got the service to do as well at some point. Never ending. So I'm going to do a screen record just now so you can see roughly what's happening on the OBDeleven app. Then we'll take all the stuff out of the app, all the readings, and put it into a chart, and hopefully I can map it on the chart to show roughly what's happening between gear changes for these two diverter valves. So we'll go up to steady speed in second gear, start at 2.5, get this logging the chart, and we'll give it a go. Oh, we're at 3. And we'll see how we got on with that. I have no idea. I'm used to this performance, and in between boosts I'm used to the way it changes and gets back on the boost. In between gear changes I'm used to the way it gets back on the boost. So it's really hard for me to tell, unless I put this other diverter valve in, and straight away I can tell the difference between the way the boost gets back on in between gear changes. But yeah, I should have brought it with me. I've just realised, why not just bring the diverter valve with me? It takes literally 2 seconds to change, but go back to the house, and yeah, I'll see you back here in a few seconds. So once I got the car in the garage, switching over the diverter valves was relatively straightforward. I won't go into too much detail as I've done this a number of times on the channel already. Millie was here, obviously keeping me company in the garage, watching her tablet in the front seat of the car as I changed them over. And I encourage you down below to comment your thoughts on the diverter valves for these cars. Do you have a Revision G diverter valve, or do you have the Go Faster Bits one, or do you have neither just now? Do you have something totally different as well? Let me know down below in the comments your thoughts. Popping the Rev G diverter valve on, because of the thickness of the housing being a bit thinner on the Rev G, I noticed I had to put a few washers on one of the bolts. I think I do have the shorter bolts somewhere in the garage for the original Rev G diverter valve, but just now I'm going to use these washers just to hold it tight in place. And I was just about to head out then to test the Rev G diverter valve. I got a wee interruption by the delivery driver for my heating oil as he turned up and found my Ibiza was clearly in his way. How's it going?
Is that your white car?
It is, yeah.
Couldn't have shifted so I can get in front with my oil tanker.
Oh yeah, no worries man, I'll get them for just now for you.
No, I'll end up having to...
You should have budged forward a bit more. Or I can park on the drive.
Come in the drive, yeah.
I'll park on the drive, yeah. As long as it's not on your way, aye. I'm just heading out as well, like, so I'll pop it on the side and I'll come past it. Yeah, that's fine. Aye. I'm not sure we're going to get the same bit of road, but to be honest, I think with diverter valves, it's more the idea of the GFB is it gives you faster response and boost between gear changes. So I think no matter if you're going uphill, downhill, whatever, it's in between those gear changes, does it get back on boost according to what the car is asking for. So try it along here and then I'll see how it performs. So it's really hard to tell. Probably really hard to hear me as well. The noise over this road surface is horrendous with these tyres. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure. Definitely a lot less turbo noises. Like, not turbo noises, like the induction noises, if that makes sense. I think so. I don't know. Hard to tell. I don't want to pass because of this road surface. It is full of potholes on the other side of the road, so I'll stick behind this just now. What I'll do here is I'll turn in this wee lay-by. Turn this lay-by here and go back out the road. And I'll get a chance to pull out when there's no traffic about and then do a pull from second. I just don't want to sit in second gear on the road here when there's cars probably wanting past. So I'll do a quick turn in here. It's a nice smooth surface in this car park, isn't it? I'm just going to save this as Rev G first run. So we'll go back to getting this. Charge, pressure control, the second one, and that one. And that's all ready. Right, so we're crawling on that second. Around the same 2.5, 3,000 revs in second gear. That's recording the charts, so I've got it. I felt that boost suddenly dropped off there before I even lifted properly. I lifted my foot slightly off 6R to ease off, but it felt like the brakes be applied, if that makes sense. I'm going to try that just now and see. There's boost there, no bother. Boost. Boost. Back on. This feels strong, but that was a weird one. That was a really strange one, that. So sorry, I'm shouting over the noise of this car. My oil delivery getting dropped off. So yeah, I don't know. I'll be honest, because everyone thinks, oh, I'm a Go Faster Bits fanboy, and that's all I think is the way forward for these cars. And not at all. I just put mine on, and it's been perfect ever since. But I will be honest in saying I can't really feel a difference between the Revision G and the Go Faster Bits diverter valve. I think if you told me to walk away from the car for a few minutes and you put a choice of the two on the car, I think I would struggle to tell which one's which. The only thing I think would give it away actually is the turbo flutter noises, which I know people say turbo flutters horrendous, it's bad, it destroys your turbos if it's making that turbo flutter noise. I don't know enough about turbos to understand the gist behind if that's true or not, so I'm not going to say that's completely wrong. All I can do now is look at the chart to see if the required boost that the car is asking for is getting up to boost quicker versus the actual when the different diverter valves are on the car. So let's have a look and we'll get back to you shortly. So it's the following morning and I've still got the cold. Actually last night I did a live stream from here in the garage. If you haven't got my live streams yet, do tune in because last live stream I actually fixed the door, the common door issue on these Mark II Leons, where it won't open from the outside. I managed to fix it live on the live stream and many other things as well that happened that night. But yeah, do catch us on live stream. Anyway, the main reason you're here is to find out the results from our test drive out the road. So let's get looking at the charts. So I've got them all on my phone here because I wouldn't be able to remember all these figures in my head. But let's have a look at the Go Faster Bits one first, because that was what we had out the road first. So you can see the kind of 2.5 peaks there from the test run. So that was accelerating hard in second, hard in third, and then kind of eased off a bit in fourth. What I've done is I've actually put values because I was able to see the clear values when I was plotting the graph to see the highest points of these lines. So the red line is basically the ECU telling the car what it needs for boost. The green line is the boost that's actually being produced by the turbo at that point, what's been read, actual boost pressure. And the blue line is the rev range in the car. And as you can see on the pull and second gear, the peak boost it reached, this is all in millibar by the way, was 2,320 millibar. And a change gear, you can see it drops off down to 1240 millibar, back up to 2310. Along then again, a drop off to 1150 and back up to 2370 then. So that's its maximum boost across the gear changes, basically across the second, third and fourth gear. Now, the next one we'll have a look at is the first pull with the Rev G diverter valve. Now this was done on a different road as you saw in the video. I was just hoping it wasn't going to be too much of a major factor, but I'll talk about other factors that might cause an issue with this as well. So we've got pull in second, third and fourth gear. As you can see, I'm changing slightly lower in each gear. I'm getting, as the gears go up, the rev range it goes down, so again not very consistent, but you can see again peak figures here. So peak figure reached for boost was 2,400, then 2,440 and then 2,320. As it dropped off in between gear changes, the boost that was still staying in that pressurized system, in the turbo system, was 1,160 it dropped to between gears 2 and 3, down to 1210 between gears 3 and 4, and then between 4 and 5 it dropped to 1210. We'll come to a comparison between all these figures in a second. And then finally we did do one more run with the Rev G diverter valve, and this was kind of going up a slight incline, but again boosting hard in second, third and a bit in fourth as well. So second gear pulling hard and we got up to 2,310 millibar, dropped down to 1170 between gears 2 and 3. Peak boost again was 2,410 in gear 3, then dropped down to 1160 in between gears 3 and 4, and then peaked in gear 4 at 2,440. And then there's a wee slight peak later on, but that was just a wee blip in the throttle. So what does this all mean? I did create then a separate wee table here, and I highlighted in blue the peak numbers, or basically the winner out of those segments. So gear 2, the drop down between gears 2 and 3 and so on. So looking on the screen here you can see we've got the diverter valves listed down the side, and we've got the different stages they were all at when we're doing the test runs. So we've got our max boost in second gear. You can see the second run for the Rev G there was the winner. It reached maximum boost out of the three of them. Then you've got between second to third drop. So what we're looking for here is the drop to be as minimal as possible. So the higher that number, the more boost it's staying in the system, and in theory, in my theory, sorry, I'm not for science theory, then the faster it should get back on boost because it's got less distance to go from that minimum boost back to max boost when you're putting your foot flat on the throttle. So I then class the Go Faster Bits diverter valve there as being the winner for those three readings because it still had the highest boost in between the gear changes. But that could have been that I maybe just did a really quick boost. I'm not too sure of what happened at that point. Anyway, back on to the max boost in third gear, with accelerating hard in third gear. The second run on the Rev G again performed the best, reaching 2,440. Then we've got the drop between third and fourth, so what the pressure dropped to, 1210 this time for the second run on the Revision G diverter valve, again being the best. And then we've got here the boost, the maximum boost that the diverter valves reached in fourth gear when pushing hard. And this time the first run on the Rev G reached the highest figure here at 2,440 millibar. So what does this all mean? So my theory is that I'm not a robot, I'm not a computer software. I can't give consistent test results to all these to the two diverter valves properly. But from those figures there, the Revision G diverter valve was performing ever so slightly better than the Go Faster Bits diverter valve. Did I notice it out on the road? I like I said, I didn't have a clue what the difference was between the two of them actually driving it flat out in both circumstances. So would you notice yourself? I don't know either. The only thing I said, like I did say, was that the difference in noises coming from the turbo, a bit more pronounced with the Go Faster Bits diverter valve. Ideally what you want to do when you're doing this kind of test is have it on a car that's got a DSG gearbox, because that's going to kind of produce consistent gear changes between second, third, fourth and so on, compared to me trying to use a clutch and trying to get that shift consistently fast between each gear change. So that's probably an inconsistency there. Maybe the road's making a difference as well. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think that the difference in the road would have caused a major difference to the readings? My theory was that it's just purely down to what your foot's asking of the car at that time and the boost. There's maybe more load under the engine, but should that affect what the boost gets up to in the system? I'm not too sure, but yeah, someone maybe that knows more than me about turbo pressure can actually let me know in the comments. Now, although the Rev G definitely showed better results across all those graphs there compared to the Go Faster Bits, I still think that in highly tuned applications, the Go Faster Bits diverter valve will still hold boost a lot better than the Revision G. This is purely down to the way they're made up. You can see the Go Faster Bits diverter valves like made of solid aluminium or steel, I'm not too sure what it's made of, but the piston's solid metal and the housing's like solid metal as well. There's not much plastic on it. There's a wee bit of a rubbered kind of diaphragm on the very top to make them nice tight sealed, but all the parts are mostly metal, and that's a lot less chance of failing under high boost applications compared to the Revision G, which you can see has those coloured diaphragms and rubber in between the moving parts. Whether many Mark II Leon Cupras go up to that high boost applications to push the Rev G to its limits, I don't know, because probably the Rev G does handle a good amount of boost before it does give in finally. But yeah, my theory is that the Go Faster Bits is a lot stronger overall when it comes to those high boost applications. So then finally, what will I be putting back on the car now? So just now the Rev G is still on the car, and my thoughts are that I'm going to run that for a week to see if I do notice any difference, rather than having a couple of runs in the car and not seeing it straight away, the difference. So the plan is to run it for a week, see if I notice anything. If I do notice anything different, or I have something majorly game-changing, I'll probably do another video following up to this one to say that I found something that I've definitely seen that's different, but I don't think I will actually. I think, to be honest, this is going to perform just as equally as well as the Go Faster Bits diverter valve did. And does that mean I'm going to keep this on the car for good? Well, no. The plan is actually, because the Go Faster Bits diverter valve is made up of the solenoid of the original diverter valve of the car, it's like a hybrid of the two systems, so a brand new metal housing along with an old solenoid. That solenoid is about 60,000 miles old, that's with the Go Faster Bits diverter valve just now. So I'm going to use the new solenoid of the Rev G, stick that along with my Go Faster Bits housing and piston, and put that back on the car, because then I've got a brand new solenoid assisting with the piston on the Go Faster Bits diverter valve, and that should maybe make even more of a reliable setup than what I've got just now in the car. Anyway, thanks for watching all this scientific stuff. Like I said, it's not been super accurate. I hope you found some value for it. It's definitely been eye-opening to me, because yes, I was always in the Go Faster Bits diverter valve and I was expecting to see a much bigger difference, but the fact is the Rev G in those graphs came out better than the Go Faster Bits diverter valve by only a small margin overall, but yeah, overall it was better figures than the Go Faster Bits. Anyway, I'm off now to capture a nice thumbnail picture of this car, which you probably saw at the start of this video, but thanks for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe and the like button, of course, if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.